All right, and we are live. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jaya Talks episode 10 and our signature series where we unpack the future of work in Web3 insights and also more informational related with the Web3 career or maybe Web3 insights. I'm Theo. I will be your host for today. And as for usual, this session is brought to you by Jaya Talent, a Web3 native recruitment agency that connects top talent with high impact projects around the world. All right, so today's topic is something a lot of people has been asking us for a lot of times, and I can find a single chat every day of our community asking like how to get a job in Web3 and how do I actually land a job in Web3 to be exact. So not just by browsing Discord or maybe sending DMs, but really positioning yourself up to get hired and also to get noticed by the recruiters, whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or already deep in the ecosystem. And to help us answer that questions, we are here joined by someone who's helped hundreds of people break into the Web3 careers. Please welcome Vedang Vatsa, founder of Hashtag Web3, a platform and community that guides job seekers and also building a really big community. So Vedang, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for the brief introduction.
Amazing, amazing. So I've been following you since you created the Web3 WhatsApp group. So I think it's a year or two back then. So I've been joining since the beginning because I'm really interested on what you're building, basically. And there's a lot of the opportunities there, a lot of job offers, a lot of hiring opportunity. And other than that, I'd like to know more about you as the founder of the Hashtag Web3 and also the person behind of this really big community and ecosystem. Would you be okay to share some stuff about yourself to me and also the community?
Sure. First of all, thank you very much for arranging this session. I particularly feel very excited about Web3 as a technology because I think has the um it has the possibility to uh, remove middlemen and make processes more efficient. And I think technology as a whole can be an enabler when we talk about Web3 enabling efficiency in many processes. So briefly, that has been the reason of my interest in Web3. Uh, in Web3, I figured out soon that so since I had a background of working with a career tech platform, I was very close to candidates looking for jobs. And this is when I figured out that candidates from emerging countries like India, Africa, different countries in Africa, Philippines, they have talent, but uh, they lack jobs in those countries. Plus, the arbitrage of salaries in case of Web3, because we're talking about remote working environment, or something that can be utilized by candidates from these countries. So, which means that uh, skilled candidates from emerging countries like Philippines, India, Vietnam can get a job in, let us say, in an American company, paying much higher salaries as they can get in their own countries. And this was a uh, big reason why a lot of people came into Web3 because the salaries in Web3 jobs were very good. So, coming from a background coming from a background and having the experience of enabling people to get good jobs and high interest in this particular technology, all of this combined into creating communities that enabled me to help candidates find good Web3 jobs.
All right, amazing. But like for yourself, like how long you've been in the Web3 and what makes Web3 interesting for you?
Sure. And um, It is not just about me or the candidates from the emerging countries, like I mentioned. I think overall Web3 as a whole has the opportunity for companies, for processes to improve efficiency. Like I mentioned, it helps remove the middleman problem, and so overall, there are good reasons why companies are adopting Web3 as a technology. Plus, the reason of it being Web3 companies offering good salaries uh, is the reason why I believe that a lot of people have been attracted to this particular field, including me.
I see. Very cool. Very cool. As of myself, I also see Web3 as a really big opportunity, not only for career-wise, but also for self-improvement. You've always met someone new every day. You've connected with someone around the world, and I think that also can increase your value and your skill. And all right, now let's get to the heart of the session today. And we've seen like all of this hype, the noise, and also the endless job boards. But breaking into Web3, sometimes it still feels like a maze for many people. Not only for those who are new into Web3, but sometimes for the medium level of the Web3 workers, I would say. So instead of jumping straight into question, with Vedang has prepared something for us with his amazing presentation, sharing everything related with the topics today. And Vedang, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Please confirm when you start seeing my screen, Theo. I'm going to click on present. Share screen.
Okay, let me just. Okay, are you sharing your screen already?
Just a minute.
Okay.
I'll have to quit the browser and reopen it. So please allow me a minute to come back.
For sure, for sure. We'll be waiting for you. Check, check. All right, guys. So while we are waiting for Vedang, I actually would like to know your opinion if you have like any troubles previously in uh, looking for jobs in the Web3, and also if you have any questions or maybe concerns regarding the topic, or maybe you would like to share experience, you can always comment on the live stream. And you don't need to use hashtag like we always did on the Telegram, but for now you can feel free to uh, put your questions. All right, we got Vedang in the room back.
So, thank you very much for waiting. Please confirm. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. So I'll start my presentation about finding a job in Web3. First of all, who am I? I'm the founder of Hashtag Web3. Hashtag Web3 is a global community, and it has more than 100,000 Web3 professionals as of now. We also run one of the largest community job boards for Web3 roles. If you go on Telegram, type Web3 jobs, our channel is going to come on the top. I've been the former country head for an early stage career, global career platform. And I've also worked for consulting companies like EY and KPMG. So first of all, what is Web3? I particularly like this animation, and uh, let's 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 just take a minute to understand my perspective of Web3. So in the first phase of Web1, there was a single server and information was relayed to the users like this. In case of Web2, users were enabled to send information to the central server as well. While in case of Web3, peer-to-peer communication has been made possible. So again, server to people, read and write, and peer-to-peer communication. Now, this enables the aspect of owning your own data. How? Uh, we'll talk about it in the next few slides, and then we'll jump on the career aspect of it. So, in the current web that we have, we create an account on a platform, let us say Facebook, and we create an account and we start sending them data or information about us. So Facebook would own our data. Facebook would own all of users' data. In case of Web3, we do not make an account on the third-party platform, but we create a wallet. We create an account on a wallet, and then this wallet can interact with platforms, with apps. So in this way, we own our identity via a wallet, and the data is generally on a blockchain. In this way, we own the identity, and this identity uh, enables storing data in a common database. In terms of so again talking about the differences. So in Web1, like I showed in the animation, uh, people could only read information from the server. While in case of Web2, they could also send back things to the server, which means they could also write uh, in the database. In case of Web3, because we have our identity in a wallet controlled by us via keys, we can it enables this whole infrastructure, this whole structure enables us to own our data as well. So read, write, own. Um, there are the main difference in Web3 is that this whole structure is decentralized, peer-to-peer, while in case of Web2 and Web1, most of the information was centralized in centralized platforms. In case of Web3, the monetization model has been primarily focused around tokens, while in case of Web2, it was more around attention. The more you look at more you spend your time on any particular platform, more you will interact with the data that they have to offer or the data that you can offer. So it was focused on attention that you give to a platform. While in case of Web3, it is more towards tokens, which can or cannot be gamified by the platforms, and in this way the economics of uh, the economics can be directly related to tokens uh, owned or directly or indirectly by the platform. Blockchains and DLT enable this infrastructure, enable this whole this type of web, while smart contracts enable that we have secure transactions. In terms of career, this means that so now we are talking about a peer-to-peer architecture. We are talking about teams that work from different continents that have a common geography that has Earth as a common geography. So we are talking about tokens now. We are talking about common currencies, which means that the whole world is now a playground, which also means that we have possibilities of remote work, of getting paid in currencies that can be considered independent of borders. So, uh, which means different styles of management, different styles of team, different styles of working, which is what creates Web3 slightly different than traditional environments of working in tech companies. It has been observed that in Web3, more focus is towards your skill set than your degrees. If you can do something, uh, that's all companies need. While in case of traditional tech companies, Web2 companies, you go through a set structure of of onboarding, a set structure of hiring. While in case of Web3, it is more informal. Things happen over Telegram messages, and the hiring window is generally smaller as compared to that in Web2 companies. There are a lot of so community has been central in case of Web3, which is why a lot of these things, a lot of referrals, hiring activities happen through communities, which was one of the reasons why hashtag Web3 also opt for a community job board on Telegram, which was the platform that most of the Web3 professionals generally use. Uh, so overall, the summary is you have remote teams, new style of working because of remote teams, because of remote working environment. We have uh, the hiring and firing cycle is small. People hire quickly and fire quickly. A lot of these opportunities come through online communities. So hiring is generally done through online communities. Uh, uh, the bad part, the risky part is that the job security is not as good as in traditional tech companies because, like I said, the hiring and firing cycle is quick. Salaries are high, and so there's a higher risk there's higher risk involved in the three companies, the three roles. There's one more aspect, which is salary. So in case of the three companies, salaries are generally offered in crypto, while a lot of companies also offer a mix of crypto and fiat. While in case of Web2, it is mostly just fiat. And in case of Web3, you have to figure out your own taxes uh, while this generally happens on the companies and in case of Web2 companies. Okay, so let's go deeper into the Web3 job environment. Like I said, that Web3 has a lot of communities. So community holds a primary role in case of Web3. In Web3, people speak some word. People have some words that they generally use. So it is important for you to understand what is the meaning of these words. And I'm going to show some of these words that I'm talking about. Uh, if you join any community, you will generally find people saying GM or these words that you can see on the screen. And sorry. So it is important to know when you see these words, it is important to know what exactly they mean, because otherwise you will not be able to understand first, and secondly, you will not be able to give others the confidence that you are one of them. So to be one of the community members, it is better to understand the type of lingo that is used within the Web3 communities. Let's talk about the skills that are mostly in demand. So I've categorized this in three sections. First is technical skills. There are a lot of technical roles. There are non-technical skills and general skills that are required for almost all the roles. So in case of technical roles, it is most in in general a new field. So a lot of educational content creation is required. It's really required by companies. So content creation, social media role to in social media have big roles in terms of marketing for Web3 companies. So content creation, social media marketing, these are the kind of roles not like what we explored AI and agents, a mix of technical skills. These two is also emerging as a potential potential, you know, uh, can show and find new roles, although there are no specific titles that I can mention that can include, but overall, uh, a mix of both would also be beneficial, a mix of technical and non-technical. Third is general skills, which is required in
Hi everyone. Sorry for the wait. So there are some network issues on the Vedang connection, I think. So that's why yeah, he's been disconnected from the call. But please wait for around 3 to 5 minutes while we are trying to reconnect him back. Thank you. Hi guys, so there are some issues again regarding the Vedang network. So he is trying to reconnect and rejoin to us right now. And as we are waiting for him, I would also like to share about latest thing and also updates from the Jaya talent. So for those of who actually haven't joined our group, so yes, Jaya talent has Telegram groups that is focusing on building a job seeker community. We also have an aggregator BD group, so you can find a business development related opportunities. So allow me to put the link here. So this is our first link, our first group, and this is the second one. So what are the difference? Okay, Vedang is coming back. Let me try to bring him up again. Hi Vedang, is everything all right?
Since you tell me, where did you lose me?
Amazing. I think we've lost you when you are sharing about the skills of the Web3 community.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, that one on that slide.
Okay, sorry for that. And please message me again if you lose me again. So I was talking about skills and um so generally we have technical skills. We have a lot of technical roles in Web3. Then we have non-technical roles. We have a lot of, like I mentioned earlier, community has a big role to play in Web3. So social media, community management, social media management, community management, and since Web3 as a whole is a new industry, so we need a lot of tech educational content. So content creation is also a very important aspect. So in terms of non-technical roles, we have roles related to social media, community management, content creation, marketing activities as a whole in general, including events, online events, offline events, and roles related to product marketing, and in general, growth hacker roles. While we talk about technical and non-technical skills, there are some skills that are required in all the roles. Since we are talking about companies remote that have team members working remotely. So it is important that you are disciplined with remote working. You know uh, how to be involved in online activities, and you know how to manage your timing. Since we are talking about teams that work in different time zones, so general skills required for almost all of the roles, technical skills for technical roles, and non-technical skills, in which marketing roles generally are large in number. So let's talk about the the interesting part, which is salaries. Now, here is a list of salaries that we have estimated are the average salaries that people get in this industry. Although this doesn't mean that you will always receive such salaries, these numbers are dependent on your geography and the kind of company that is hiring. So, but in general, you will notice that these numbers are way higher than what you will get for a comparable role for a similar role in a Web2 company. So, like I said earlier, Web3 companies offer better salaries as compared to Web2 companies. Uh, yes, these numbers are good, but it largely depends on the geography. If you are working in an American company, these numbers may be higher as compared to working for a company in, let us say, Philippines or India. So these numbers are highly dependent on the geography, on your skill set, and the kind of company that is hiring. But overall, in general, these numbers are higher than uh, uh, numbers that for similar roles in a Web2 company. This next part is about how to how to show your ability, how to show that you know something. So so I've seen a lot of people saying messaging me about, they are new to this industry, how can they get into this industry since they do not have the required experience for any role. Generally, I have observed that if a company is hiring for a role, they would not specifically mention the years of experience in case of the three roles, and which means that they are open to receiving uh, applications from candidates with any, any range of experience. It highly depends on the way you justify that you know the things that would be required in that role. So it is important to understand how you can show your ability for any role. In this slide, I've shown some common roles and the way you can justify uh, your expertise, your understanding, your knowledge about that role. So, for example, if you are aiming for a designer role, graphic designer role, you can probably make your profile on Dribble, Behance, or maybe have a personal website where you can showcase a portfolio of the designs that you created in the past. It can be designs of the things that you worked in your university. It can be from your internship. Nobody cares as long as you know how as long as you can showcase that you have done something good in the past, or you can do something good, that's all what companies need. So for different roles, there are different ways of portraying, of showing your ability for that role. So in case of content creator, if you are applying for a social media content creator role, let us say, um, mm, uh, and you do not even you have never made any posting on your personal X account, then it will be a huge red flag. So if you are applying for something, it is important that you have a proof of that skill set anywhere. So if you are a content creator, if you like creating articles, uh, sharing the link of your articles on Medium or Substack, or your own personal website would be a very good way to justify that you know your thing, that you know how to write content, write articles. If we are talking about video content, videos on YouTube would be something that you can showcase. If we are talking about, social media content, your Twitter profile should be the portfolio uh, uh, that you can showcase to the company. So the core idea is that to justify your ability for any particular role, it is it is preferable, it is recommended that you maintain a portfolio. And for different roles, this portfolio can mean different things. Like I said, for a social media marketer, if you do not have an active Twitter profile and you're applying for a role that requires regular increasing engagement on posting content on X, that can be considered a red flag. So create a proof that you can showcase and use it as the justification of your skill set, as a means to showcase that you know your thing. Since Web3 is a very small industry, and typically a lot of people know a lot of people because it is a very small industry, networking has a big role to play in case of Web3. And so the question is, how can I network in Web3? Wherever you are, I'm sure there must be some local chapters of any community in your city. Try to join those communities, interact with with other people, founders, other professionals, see what they are working on. If you are very new to the industry, ask for an internship. Make a portfolio, write your own things, ask for an internship, get involved, and then move further uh, as you find comfortable. But networking as a whole in Web3 is a little different than in Web3. In Web2, there are a lot of niche events that happen. Um, Try to join global conferences, try to join local meetups, try to engage in communities that you can find online. Social media. Uh, Social media has a big role in Web3, although a lot of traffic is a lot of people are 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 active on X than LinkedIn. A lot of people are active on Telegram than WhatsApp. So you have to figure out which platform to choose, which communities to join, which events to join. And if you are a developer in particular, there are a lot of hackathons happening. So it will be beneficial if you can join those hackathons or events. So the summary is join events, uh, get involved in communities, and be active on social media, particularly X and Telegram. Typical Web2 job can be found in on platforms like Indeed or or niche job platforms that are popular in your country. In case of Web3, in case of Web3, uh, most of these. Let me talk about this later. I have this mentioned earlier in the later slide. So the step here is you understand what you want to do, find Web3 jobs related to your skill set. And in most of the cases, I've seen people rejecting themselves, saying that this company is asking for, XYZ thing. I only know X and Y, not Z. So it is okay for you to not know, a lot of things in life. Uh, in that job, uh, in that job description, but rejecting yourself would not be the most efficient way. So it is okay for you to reach out, apply to a lot of jobs, even though you do not 100% fit into the descriptions. A lot of people, the resource, number of resources that we have in the world for Web3, the number of resources is very low. So it is okay for you to apply for roles that are not 100% fit. So don't self-reject is the key. Because Web3 is new for everyone, not everyone knows everything. So it is okay for you to not fit completely into the job description and still apply for the role. So in the further slides, I'll talk about step-by-step process. First of all, uh, find do some background research and find your interest. Find the kind of roles that interest you. Uh, it can be if we are talking about technical roles, it can be back end, front end, any particular language related, any particular technology related, or any particular protocol related roles. In case of non-technical roles, are you good with writing? Then content writing roles can be of your interest. If you are good with social media, then eh, uh, social media marketing roles can be of your interest. So the idea is find the roles that interest you, and then make a profile or portfolio related to those roles. Like if you are talking about content writing roles, make a LinkedIn, make a Medium blog, write articles. If we are talking about development roles, make a GitHub profile, uh, make some hobby projects. Uh, so basically, make a portfolio and then start finding relevant roles, apply to the roles, and then keep following up until you either get a yes or a no. So find your interest and okay, so find your interest, make a portfolio related to that interest, find open jobs, and then apply. To apply, make sure you either have a standard resume, and it is okay to not have a resume. I've seen a lot of people getting hired without any resume, without any CV, and to justify that they know what is required in that role, they had a good portfolio. So in case you want to opt for a resume, use a standard format. In case of Web3, like I mentioned, like I was mentioning earlier and then stopped, um, most of the Web3 roles are not on typical websites like Indeed. Although LinkedIn has a lot of roles, I recommend that you look for roles listed in community job boards like ours. So if you go on Telegram, type. So since people in Web3 use Telegram, we decided to make a job board in Telegram. We made a Telegram channel. If you go on Telegram, type Web3 jobs, this channel is going to come on the top. It is one of the largest in the world. Then we have niche job boards like Web3 Career, cryptocurrency jobs. So these are the kind of platforms where you can find Web3 jobs. Now it is important to understand how not to reach out to people. And so if you want the receiver of your message to believe that you are a serious candidate, you not just have to, message them with
Hello guys, sorry there's some difficulties as well in the network from the Vedang, from our wonderful speaker, and he'll be joining us really soon. So again, I would like to remind every single one of you that we, Jaya Thailand, have Telegram groups that you can join for free, and you can get insight first regarding job opportunities, because on Jaya Talent we always put the opportunity on our group before going into the public. So make sure to join the groups. Hi, Fredang. Welcome back.
sorry, where did you lose me?
I think it was how not to reach out. The one
Okay,
after that.
sure. Thank you very much, and sorry for the trouble with my network. So I was talking about the ways how you should not reach out to someone. If you find someone relevant who has posted a job for, let us say, social media marketing role or community management role or community promotion or KOL marketing role. This is how you should not reach out. You cannot uh, just message and say, "Hello, I want a job. Hello, I will do shilling reading. I'm the best chiller and reader for your community." This doesn't have any context. So it is important for you to give context and make sure that the time that the reader is spending on any message is worth his time, his or her time. For example, this email. This is a well-written email. I'm reaching out to be considered for this role. So it has a mention of why you're reaching out, why you are relevant for that role, and why you should be considered for that role, and the further steps. So it is important to give context. It is important for just to understand this whole scenario. You need to put yourself in the shoes of the reader, and then decide whether you as a reader would continue reading, would take interest in your message or not. So, uh, the steps to reach out would be, if you are choosing to reach out via emails, these are some of the tools that can help you find relevant emails for anyone in the company that have posted the job that you like. So find the relevant email of the person involved, write a good email, descriptive email, and then uh, keep keep mm, wait for some time, and if they don't respond, give a follow up, keep following up respectfully, and and if your message is relevant to the role to them, there is a high possibility that you will receive a response, even if that means it is a no. But we have observed that there is a higher possibility of getting a positive response when you write a very clear email describing why you are a good fit for that particular role. That's it. This is me. If you scan the QR code, you'll get to my Twitter profile. Feel free to give me a message and ask me questions, and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can.
Check, check. Amazing, amazing. That's such a really good presentation. I see some of the interesting facts like how not to reach out, also different roles and the related skills, because some of our communities actually have some difficulties in separating like the responsibilities of really specific roles. So
Mhm.
your explanation does help them actually. And while you are presenting, we've got some questions from the community.
Mhm.
And shall we go to the question?
So,
Sure. Okay. Wonderful. So I see that you are explaining like early role for the Web3 people, also some expert roles, and we have some related questions with that. So the question is from the Sweco. The question is, Sir Vedang, there are a lot of Web3 aspects. I wanted to know, should I focus on being a generalist or specialize in one area of Web3? What do you think about it?
just before I answer this question, I have a whole thread on Twitter that gives a summary of what I have explained today. Let me share the link of that in the chat first, and then I'll get back to the question. Just give me a second. I have to log in, and then I'll be able to post the comment.
All good, no worries. It seems like most of our communities are excited to try to develop their careers further, because even though that Jaya Talent is a medium to C-level recruitment agencies, but we most of our communities are also in the entry levels, and some of them are transitioning. There are someone here also asking where to start if he or she is in the middle of transition from the Web 2 to the Web 3. So should we go to another question first before you are looking for the answer to this one, or
Sure, sir. So the first question was whether the candidate should go for a generalist role or a specialist role.
yes, correct.
Hmm. And by the way, I do have access to the comment section now. The comment section. I'm posting a comment with the link of a Twitter thread with relevant details of what I've shared in the in the in the session. But anyway, so for generalist or specialist role, I think it is very subjective. It is a very subjective question. For a lot of generalist roles, you should be able to understand a lot of things about Web3. specific to different roles. So I would suggest that it is better to get into specialist roles first and then move your way out to other specializations and then eventually to a generalist role which can uh, lead or be involved in a lot of specialist roles. So from specialization to generalization, from specialist to generalist, and then to whatever you want or can do.
Amazing. Because I also questioning about the same thing because Web3 is a really really big world, and in the Web3 space, like there might be a lot of aspect like NFT, metaverse, game, DeFi, and everything, and some of the hiring opportunity, I will say. Some requirements are looking for like a DeFi degen or maybe like Web3 gamers specialized. So things like that. Sometimes I understand that this kind of things usually makes our community confused because is it hard to go for a specialized role in one specific area of the Web3 because the opportunities are sometimes changing because of the trend. So during the meme coins, there are a lot of meme project looking for a member, and in the GameFi trend, like the opportunities trend are changing within the Web3. So I realized that it's a bit hard to go for a specialized role, but I agree with your opinion on we can be like generalist first, or maybe we can do specialized because it's pretty much subjective. But I think wielding a really good opportunity could also help whether you are being considered, because if you're doing good job on the general Web3 and have sufficient knowledge on each of the aspects, I think you're pretty good to consider.
So,
uh, all right, so let's move on to the next question. So next question is coming from the Reese RYZ. The question is, I have a question. So where should I start if I'm transitioning from Web 2 to Web 3?
uh, so uh, if you are in the technical side, then you have to figure out what kind of technical skills can you transfer from your Web2 role to your to a potential Web3 role. Uh, there are um, uh, while in case of non-technical roles, a lot of these skills can be transferred to Web3 roles specific to specific to um, if you can just if you can just figure out knowledge related to Web3 roles relevant to your Web2 skill set, that would be, I think, the first step for you to transition from a Web2 role to a Web3 role. And this is considering that you already know something in Web2, which means that if you already have some skill set in Web2, try to understand the closest role for that skill set in Web3 and add your Web3 knowledge, add some Web3 knowledge to it to make it Web3 native role, to make it a Web3 native skill set for a role.
That's a really good tip. Thank you, Vedang. So find your like the closest role that available on the Web3 and try to match up with your Web2 experience and add some little bit of maybe some Web3 knowledge, and voila, you are ready to go to Web3. All right. Next question is coming from our Telegram group. It's a question from Aldo23. It's actually such an interesting question because I even see some people are doing this. So the question is, should I include wallet addresses in my application? Because I see some people put their MetaMask address on their portfolio.
Mm. It is actually it first of all, it can be done. It is being done by a lot of candidates. I particularly find it difficult to uh, quickly judge someone's ability through their wallet address, because it takes time for me in general, for me in particular, to uh, to judge someone's ability from their wallet address, while just looking at a resume would help me answer that within a few seconds. So while it is good and innovative and Web3 a Web3 thing to put your portfolio to showcase your portfolio via wallet addresses, it is not very user friendly. So while it is good, it is not preferable. It is difficult for for someone on the receiving end to judge your ability quickly from that.
I see. I see. I agree. It's not for judging your abilities based on your wallet, because I think it comes back to the point like sometimes you can put someone else's address on your portfolio without actually showing that you are owning the wallet account yourself. So I think it's not really become one of the most essential things to put on your portfolio or resume. But if it's required by the recruiters, then it might do. All right. So next question is from our Telegram group as well. It's from Marquis. The question is, what are some good entry level roles in the Web3 for non-technical people?
Hmm. I've seen content writing and social media management roles, which I've mentioned a lot of times in the presentation as well. These are the most common roles that I see a lot in demand. Whenever we post some of these roles, these are the kind of roles that get that gets the most number of shares from our Telegram channel. So, and this is a proxy for me to understand that these are very popular roles. Plus, whenever we post a role that is related to marketing, social media marketing, content writing, community management, these roles get a lot of applications. So, which points us to saying that to understanding to assuming that there are a lot of candidates for these roles. Uh, a lot of these roles do not require any specific experience in Web3 or Web3 or Web2 in general. So good entry level roles would be that I can suggest would be content writing or designing or community management or social media management. But the exact answer would highly depend on your interest and your ability.
That's a very good question. There's a lot of roles out there, graphic design, related with the creativity, with the designs, and also as simple as being moderator could do as well, like Vedang has mentioned, community management and social media role. I mean, even though it's all required basic knowledge of the digital, like social media or maybe digital marketing, but you should be have actually like some extra skills to work on that if you would like to succeed in your role. All right, so that is actually the last question we have. So we actually have some questions, but we almost running out of time. So I would like to before I would like to wrap up the session actually, but before we wrap up the sessions, as any of our Jaya Talk sessions and required or maybe requested by our community, before we wrap up, I would like to ask one question to you, Vedant. What is your quote of the day?
What is my what? Say that again,
Quote.
please.
What is your quote of the day?
Quote of the day. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mhm. I think while I was doing the presentation, um, I particularly like this quote from my presentation, which is "Do not self-reject yourself." A lot of people self-reject themselves, and there can be many reasons for it, but do not self-reject yourself.
Do not self-reject yourself. Let me put that on the pin, guys. That's actually one of the best quote I've heard, because, guys, be confident. Do not self-reject yourself. You still have chance. You are a good guy, everyone. All right, then. Um, I think that's all for all of us, and I would like to thank you for of our audience today, and especially huge thank to you, Vedang, for sharing your time and your brain with us. That was seriously valuable, especially for taking your time to presenting some key roles or maybe key points to all of us today. And for everyone watching, remember that Web3 isn't about having the perfect CV or knowing every buzzword like GM, WAGMI, FUD, or everything like that. But it's also about showing up, contributing with intentions, also building real connections and signals. Like Vedang has mentioned in his presentation, your network is your network. So it's always good to build your network because Web3 is known for a global community, and it's really easy to connect with someone. So make sure to build your network positive way in a positive way. And that brings us to the end of the today's Jaya Talks. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Jaya Talent and follow us on Twitter and Telegram. And also, I have put the link to the hashtag Web3 Telegram group on the comment. You can just join and stay updated for the sessions like this as well. Until next time, stay curious and go get that role, everyone. See you in the next Jaya Talks. Thank you very much, Vedang, for your time.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, everyone. Bye bye.